Did you guys actually think anyone would get to this video faster than I did? Absolutely not. Obviously, we are here to rebuild the Washington Commanders after they just stole Marshon Lattimore from the Saints. Are you kidding me, dude? A little pick swap, a third, a fourth, and a sixth for Marshon Lattimore. As a Ravens fan, I would have loved this deal on my team. This was a crazy steal, and also the Saints, I understand they're in huge cap debt and their team's 2-7. They're bottom of the division and they play in the same division as the Panthers, so that's really saying something. But I just don't understand, why don't you just trade away your older players like Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu? I understand they're still great players, but you choosing to trade away your first round pick in Marshon Lattimore, who is also one of your best defensive players, who is also on the younger side, for basically nothing, doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, sure, he could have not wanted to be in New Orleans, which is understandable for a lot of players right now, but trading him for almost next to nothing is ridiculous to me. But with that being said, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let me know which team you want me to rebuild next. No more small comments from me. We're getting straight into the rebuild. Jayden Daniels is the top front runner for me, at least, for the offensive rookie of the year. Some people can say Caleb Williams, but this offense is extremely explosive now just because of Jayden Daniels, Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler with the 1-2 punch, Scary Terry, Noah Brown, Jamison Crowder, Luke McCaffrey here. O-line looking a little rough on some places. Got Sam Cosmi, Tyler Badaz, and Coleman here as well. So I don't know who Coleman is, but he will start just because he has that hidden development for him. We got Zach Ertz, Ben Sinnott. Honestly, I'm going to start Ben Sinnott over Zach Ertz. Defensively, though, we got, Jerzon Newton, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Dorrance Armstrong. Great defensive line here. Frankie Louvu, might as well just move him down because I definitely want him as my edge rusher. And that looks a lot better. You got a great secondary here. Jeremy Chin, St. Justine, and we got Marshon Lattimore, of course, now. So this team actually looks really scary the way it is. I didn't know Bobby Wagner was still an 87 overall in this game. Didn't know he was doing that well, but it's not going to be too much of a rebuild. We just need Jayden Daniels to develop here in Madden, and then of course maybe get him a new receiver. That would be nice for him. This team already looks really good in real life, really explosive. Let's see how they do in year number 1 with Marshon Lattimore. Year number 1, we are 6-1. Probably should have started out the midseason before we had Marshon Lattimore at the team, but really doesn't matter that much. We are number 2 in the conference, but number 1 in our division. We are doing amazing. Scouting national focus here. We need to get him a second wide receiver, so let's just do that. For the players ready to negotiate, Jeremy Chin about to turn 27. I still like him though. 3-year deal, $5 million a year. He'll accept that. And then Benjamin St. Justine here. I'm gonna take. Do I take this? I mean, 26. Really not that bad. Don't want the years to be that long. I mean, he'd be good depth regardless if he regresses. So I'm going to pay him, I guess, a little bit more to stay on the team since he doesn't want to be here. And then Noah Brown, I don't want Cleveland Farrell. I can't believe the Raiders picked this guy over rusher Josh Hines Allen, I guess his name now. Ridiculous that was the number 4 pick in the draft at one point. Derek Forrest here, I do want him back. I'll do a 4-year deal. Only $2 million a year? Absolutely. And he says he's on the fence, which is annoying. I know he's only a 73 normal development, but he is 25, so he would be nice depth regardless. Everyone else here, I'm just not interested in, so I'm not going to worry about all that right now. Tressway Seibert, actually, let me actually extend this. 27 years old, just stay with the team for the entire rebuild. Bobby Wagner, he's going to drop down to like an 81 overall. Maybe I'll re-sign him whenever he gets that far, but for now, we're just going to pass on that. 80 million left in available cap room. Let's move into the playoffs. EA Sports. We're 9-8. We missed the playoffs. Thank you, EA, coming off not back-to-back, a loss to the Cowboys because they're gods in simulations. They dropped 37 on our defense. Our offensive passing game is 21st in the NFL. I highly doubt that. Stats and awards, Jayden Daniels does not look nearly as good as he does in real life. 19th offense, 13th defense. EA is smoking. Jayden Daniels, 31 touchdowns, 11 receptions, 99 pass rating, 3,600 yards. For a rookie, this is great, but he's definitely performing better in real life, I would say, right now. Brian Robinson with 6 touchdowns, 4.0 average, and a fumble. Jamison Crowder leading the team with 1,004 yards, 8 touchdowns. Scary Terry, 10 touchdowns, 900 yards. Noah Brown, 600 yards, 7 touchdowns. Defensively, Bobby Wagner with 117 tackles for a loss, 17 for Frankie Louvu, 16 for Jonathan Allen, 11 for Dorrance Armstrong. Sacks 14.5 for Louvu is nuts. 9 for Dorrance Armstrong, 8 for Jonathan Allen. Interception 6 for Marshon Lattimore, his first year as a Commander. Safeties 1 for Daron Payne. Defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Lions beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, winning their first ever Super Bowl. Jared Goff wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick wins the league MVP. I also put Zadarius Smith on the Lions too, so he wins that ring as well. Coach Dan Campbell is Coach of the Year, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown and Aiden Hutchinson all Defensive Player of the Year. I turned off injury, so Aiden Hutchinson came back there. Jaden Daniels gets Offensive Rookie of the Year. In the NFC East, Jamison Crowder, Cornelius Lucas retired, Graham Gano, and a bunch of other people, along with Darius Slay and Brandon Graham. And for the upgrades, Jaden Daniels gets Superstar Development. You love to see it. No other upgrades on offense, though. Defensively, Frankie Louvu gets Superstar Development. That's awesome to see, and there's no other upgrades that I can see on the defense. Yes, Bobby Wagner is down to an 80 overall now. For the re-signings, Noah Brown, Cleveland Farrell, and then Derek Forrest here. Did he go down in overall? I think he did. I don't know why, but we're just going to do neutral here and then 5-year deal again, see if he accepts that, and he does. So even though he's a 72 overall, he'll still be nice depth for the team. Everyone else here, Malik Walker was here. He had an interest with the team. I may need him. I'll just do this on a 2-year deal. Yes, he'll regress, but it's fine. Really cheap contract for us. And then finally, Bobby Wagner. I'm cool with 1 more year with Bobby Wagner at an 80 overall, but that's it. 90 million left in cap room. Let's see what we can get in free agency. So not really an exciting free agency, but we got a couple Band-Aid players, DeAndre Hopkins and Mike Hilton, both on 1-year contracts. Then we got a long-term punter in Ryan Wright. And the Saints get the #1 overall pick in the draft. That's no surprise with the way that they've been playing this year. And they get Levi Gallagher. In real life, that's probably going to be Quinn Ewers or Travis Hunter, something like that. They should pick a QB, but we'll see. Sammy Stewart here out of Miami, 6'1", 187 deep threat, great speed, elite acceleration, great jumping, great agility, decent strength here. I mean, he doesn't seem crazy, but he does seem balanced. D catching, C to D awareness is not something I really like there, and what's on the board is mainly just offensive tackles, and I don't want to pick that in the first round right now. And the receivers on the board just at this point aren't very good. D to F awareness, B to C awareness. I might just have to reach. Emmett Drummond here out of Ohio State, 6'1", 192 deep threat, good speed, great acceleration, elite agility, solid strength. This guy, F medium round, I don't know. The receivers in this class look terrible. So I know some people may disagree with this. I'm going to choose the best player available right now, and that looks like Jermaine Holiday. A awareness, B catching, B man coverage, B play rec, B tackle. He's a strong safety, I know. His athleticism looks nice. I'm going to start him over Martin at free safety. He's a strong safety. Let's see what he does. Hopefully it's in development. Ranked number 9 in the class. Picked him at 17. A+ pick here. Normal development. That's so frustrating. He's still going to start at free safety. Hopefully he gets like Defensive Rookie of the Year or something. Now we're looking at the receivers once again. Emmett Drummond wasn't really the best player we looked at last. James Smith, 6'3", 196. This is a big guy. Physical, solid speed. Great acceleration, A spec catch, B catching. Honestly, James Smith doesn't look that bad out of University of South Florida. Let's see what he has. Ranked number 20 in the class, got him at pick 49. Normal development. I'm getting good picks, but the AI just doesn't want to give me hidden development. It's pretty annoying. How is this guy a day 3 prospect? I'm in the 3rd round. Elite speed, good acceleration, 6'3", 332 out of Notre Dame. Day 3, A awareness, A play rec, A hit power. This guy looks sick, and he is ranked 40 in the class. Picked him up at 81. Hidden development. I don't know how that's possibly a day 3 talent. He looks amazing, and he will be a left outside linebacker for us. So I made a mistake earlier. I just realized it. I didn't trade away the draft picks for Marshon Lattimore because EA doesn't update the rosters, of course. So a 3rd, a 4th, and a 6th. I'm doing it this year. I know it's supposed to be 2025. I can't go back in time and change it. The Saints have to give up something. It was like a pick swap. Let me look it up real quick. Okay, so in return, they received a 5th round pick, but the Saints don't have a 5th round pick here. So we're going to take the 2027 5th round pick. Yes, I know this is chopped, but we're just going to do that to get out of the way. I know I used a 3rd round pick on a hidden development linebacker. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it. I just made the wrong right there, so just deal with it for now. After the draft, Holiday here. Where is... Oh, James Smith, not Holiday. Holiday's the safety. James Smith is going to be in the slot. D-Hop is going to be the number 2 right now. I guess the AI picked up that guy named Coleman. So what we got going on for the team defensively, that strong safety Holiday is going to start over Martin, 77 overall right now. Or should I just start him over Jeremy Chin? I know Jeremy Chin's better, but let's just try out Holiday there for now. And then Buchanan will be the left outside linebacker. Defense looking a little bit better now. Yes, again, Holiday wasn't necessarily the right pick, but he was the best player available. He has a high overall, just no development trait. We're looking to change that. Offensively, Smith could be really good. Hopefully he is in the slot here, and let's move him in the slot. Everything else looks pretty good as well. Austin Eckler getting the reps. I don't even care if he's a 59 as a third down back. Brian Robinson needs to get all the reps. Buchanan is going to move up as well. Everything else looks pretty good here. Sure, Holiday in the slot. No, I'm not doing that. Starting strong safety right now, 83 overall team. We're an 80 overall in the previous year. Hopefully we don't go 9-8 and get screwed again, and our offense is actually good. Let's move into the midseason. We are 3-4 now, as our passing yards are 5th in the NFL, but our defense just sucks now because EA Sports. We have a QB breakout challenge here for Jaden Daniels. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions is what I accidentally clicked, but we're playing the Raiders, so let's see. And for the Scouting National Focus, I'm just going to keep it at receiver. And for the weekly awards against the Eagles, he had 4 passing touchdowns and almost 300 total yards. Baller. For the players ready to negotiate, Scary Terry doesn't want to be here. He doesn't like the scheme fit. Do I change that? I mean, we're going to be in super big cap debt if I don't change it. I'm going to have to pay him $30 million. He's going to start regressing. So let's see what we can do. So in this scheme, he is not a scheme fit. He's a scheme and vertical power run. I don't like that. I don't like the spread offense. I mean, what is he a scheme in? Just vertical power run, vertical zone run. We'll try that out, see how it works. Of course, if it doesn't work, I'm going to change back to what we're winning in. I know it's like, oh, that's cheesy. It's not cheesy. We're changing something because he doesn't like it. And if obviously, if we don't win games, I'm going to change it back. Scary Terry, 4-year deal and just stay on the team for the rest of the rebuild. He resigns on that. Jonathan Allen, I want him to stay. Let's do 2 years since he's going to start regressing. Let's work down his contract as he ages. Brian Robinson, I do want back. Let's do a 4-year deal for him. He resigns till he's 30. And then Austin Eckler can walk. Percy Butler, all these other guys. DeAndre Hopkins is just a 1-year deal. Same thing with Mike Hilton. All these other extras don't really want for the team. Bobby Wagner, he's going to regress pretty hard. Emmanuel Forbes, I'm not going to accept his option, but I probably will resign him due to his age. And apart from that, guys, let's see if we can actually get that breakout challenge for Jaden Daniels. We won 33-27, so good sign. Offense did really well there. And did we get it is the question. And let me see, skip through all of this. Thanks, it felt good. Dev upgrade, Jaden Daniels now has Superstar X Factor. You'll love to see it. Huge XP boost for him as well. Let's just move into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs as we are 10-7 here, and we are 3rd in the division. Cowboys and Eagles are both over us. Our offensive passing game is pretty good. Our defensive points are really good as well. Our defensive passing game is terrible with Marshon Lattimore. Really disappointing there. But stats and awards, let's see what we got. Jaden Daniels, top 10 QB in the NFL, 13th best offense in the NFL. Defensively, 19th. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but 4,200 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 104 pass rating, much better than the previous season. Brian Robinson, only 3.7 per carry, 7 touchdowns. Really not that good of a year, but I still gave him his contract. James Smith, the rookie, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Hopefully he gets star development for that. DeAndre Hopkins, 9 touchdowns, 900 yards. Ben Sinnott with 850 yards, 5 touchdowns. Scary Terry giving the least amount of yards out of the 4 and the least amount of receptions. That's really disappointing, especially since they just paid him $25 million a year. Bobby Wagner with 131 tackles for a loss, 13 for Frankie Louvu. Jonathan Allen and Dorrance Armstrong, sacks 14.5 once again for Frankie Louvu. He could get X Factor. Jonathan Allen with 11, Dorrance Armstrong with 10, interceptions 5 for Jermaine Holiday. That's definitely going to be star development. You love to see it. Buchanan here, the left outside linebacker, 3, Chin with 2. No interceptions here. Really? No interceptions from Marshon Lattimore. Not that amazing of a season for him, I guess. You can't really see the yards allowed on the season, which sucks. And Holiday also with a pick 6. You love to see it. Can we beat the 12-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I'm assuming they still have Baker to move on, and we do not. 10-7, defensive points per game. Our defensive points per game is 8th, but our defensive rush yards and our defensive passing game is 25th and 24th. That doesn't make any sense. And the Ravens beat the Niners in the Super Bowl again, and the Niners lose another Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP, and James Smith wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, but Holiday doesn't get Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's unfortunate. In the NFC East, DeAndre Hopkins, James Bradbury, Lane Johnson, Zach Martin, and DeMarcus Lawrence all retire. For the team upgrades, Jaden Daniels gets Superstar X Factor. Let me change around some of these abilities. So now we got Gambler, we got Protected, Red Zone Deadeye, No Look Deadeye, Tight Out, and Dashing Deadeye. I know it doesn't necessarily matter for simulation, but for me, if I wanted to hop in a game, why not just try it out? I think those are pretty cool abilities. Everyone else here, James Smith gets star development. Ben Sinnott also gets star development as well. That's nice to see. Everyone else here is no upgrades. Defensively, Holiday gets superstar development. Buchanan gets superstar development as well, or did he come with that? But he did really well as well. And then Frankie Louvu gets X Factor. So I think picking Holiday, despite him being a normal development, best player available, that was a really good move. He's still going to start over Jeremy Chin here. We have a lot of depth at safety, and even though we have a lot of depth at safety and Marshon Lattimore, we're still ranked 24th in the NFL for passing yards. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I switched into the the Buffalo Bills defense to see how that works, but for now, let's move in to the resign. For the players ready to negotiate, Emmanuel Forbes, I'm not going to accept the option. Austin Eckler, all these other extras, I'm just not interested in. Bobby Wagner can walk. Let's move into free agency. In free agency, Brock Purdy is usually always here. You got Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce, which I'm tempted to take one of these guys. So 2-year deal. Let's do a 1-year deal for Travis Kelce. Let's see how that works. After free agency, we got Travis Kelce on a 1-year deal, Taylor Moton on a 1-year deal, and CJ Mosley on a 1-year deal. Sorry, my dogs are barking. In the first round, picking up safety Joe Slayton, ranked 54 in the class, picked him up at 24, hidden development out of Wisconsin, 92 speed, 95 acceleration, 6 foot, 183. He'll be in the slot, and then James Smith will be the number 2. Now we're picking up a new left guard, ranked 23 in the class, got him at 56, hidden development, 87 strength, 78 acceleration, A's and B's across the board. After the draft, didn't have many picks because of the Saints trade, but Joe Slayton's a 73, 74 for Charlie White, and these two the CPU picked. Now this is the team moving into year number 3. Slayton's going to be in the slot. Honestly, offense has shaped up really nicely here. 87 overall team. Kelce at the tight end position. We got CJ Mosley on the 1-year deal, and we got Holiday as well. Defense looking really nice here. Hopefully we can shape up something more than just a playoff appearance in this season, and let's just move into the playoffs. I meant to say let's just move into the midseason mark. My bad. We are 6-1 here with the Buffalo defense, as we are first in the league for allowing the least amount of points, but 14th for offensive points. Our offense seems really mediocre when it shouldn't be. I always use the Dallas playbook, and it seems pretty good. Scouting national focus, I'm going to do middle linebacker. For the players that are to negotiate, I have $163 million to spend. He doesn't want any state income tax, but he got traded here anyway, so we're just going to offer him a bunch of money. He accepts. Frankie Louvu, I want for the rest of the rebuild. Let's see if he just accepts this, and he does not, so we're going to wait on that. Tyler, we do want back. Let's do a 3-year contract with him, and he resigns. Deron Payne, Martin, Dorrance Armstrong. We got quite a lot of players here that need some re-signings, but thankfully we do have a lot of money. Deron Payne, I'm going to do a 3-year contract with him. He resigns at about $20 million a year. Then Martin, even though, I mean, he's the starter right now, I have Jeremy Chin as backup. We'll do a 4-year deal with him. Pretty cheap contract overall. He resigns. Dorrance Armstrong, he doesn't want to be here. He wants to be in Texas. Let's see if we can do a 2-year deal and increase his money, and then he says no to that as well. So both of our edge rushers are being difficult right now. Emmanuel Forbes, I do want back because of his youth, and he's going to re-sign on that. And then everyone else here, Travis Kelce, Taylor Moton, we'll see how they regress by the end of the year, but I still do want them. CJ Mosley, same deal, and Jaden Daniels, of course, I'm going to accept that option. But for now, let's see what we have at the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs. Our defensive rushing game is 23rd, but our defensive points in the game is 4th. Our defensive passing game is 9th. Our offense is mid, but we are 11-6 in the wild card. Number 1 seed at 11-6 seems kind of ridiculous, but the Packers and Lions both go 11-6 as well. Stats and awards, Jaden Daniels, disrespected by EA. 15th in the NFL, got 16th offense, 22nd defense, even though I had the, okay, that's for yards allowed, but still, I had the 4th in league for for allowing points. That seems absolutely ridiculous to me. Scoring points though, 15th in the NFL. Points allowed, let's see that please, 4th. So I don't really know how that makes a lot of sense, but it is what it is. Jaden Daniels just over 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 receptions, 102 pass rating. This looks good on paper, but he's 15th in the NFL, 17th for passing touchdowns, 17th for passer rating. Not a top 10 QB in this season. James Robinson, 13 touchdowns, 3 fumbles, 3.7 average. Not really the best season. 13 touchdowns kind of makes it look good. Great ball distribution here, but really scary Terry. I'm paying you like $25 million a year, and you can't even give me a 1,000-yard season in this season or the previous season. James Smith has 7 touchdowns, 900 yards, very similar to Scary Terry. And then Travis Kelce, 700 yards, 6 touchdowns. Defensively, CJ Mosley, 112 tackles. Jeremy Chin with 81 tackles for a loss, 15 for Frankie Louvu, 10 for Dorrance Armstrong, 9 for Jonathan Allen. Sacks, 14 for Frankie Louvu. He continues to be amazing. 13 for Jonathan Allen, 8.5 for Dorrance Armstrong. I still want to re-sign both of those guys. Interceptions, 3 for CJ Mosley, Marshon Lattimore, and Quan Martin. And then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Quan Martin. And we're going to be playing the Detroit Lions with the #1 seed. They're better than us in every way, but again, this is Madden, and we beat them despite them being better than us in every way. Packers, same deal. I mean, we're only 1 overall off compared to them, but let's see if we can beat them to move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are versus the Packers. They're going to open up with 7. We're going to respond with nothing, and then they're going to make it 14-0, and then we are going to make it 14-7, opening up half here with another 7 tie game, taking our first lead of the game, 21-14, 21-21. Do not choke this. Get better field position with the punts. Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to force it to overtime, 28-21. We need an overtime score. Let me go down the field, get a touchdown, and of course go for a 2-point conversion. 1st and 10. Let's see what we're going to have here. I'm just going to check down to Brian Robinson. Didn't really like anything I had. 2nd down, Nate. Yes, I know it's crazy. I'm running a slip screen here with Brian Robinson. It's going to work out pretty well, and we're going to be able to get out of bounds. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. We got inside zone here. Brian Robinson. Good stuff. Moving upfield, and it makes it a 2nd and 1. 2nd down 1. We got a counter move in here. Let's move up. Brian Robinson makes it a first down and 10. I got Jason Kelce underneath. Well, not Jason Kelce. Travis Kelce, my bad. 2nd and 1. 2nd down and 1. We're going to hand it off here. Brian Robinson trying to move upfield. He's going to keep powering forward. 1st and 10. 1st down and 10. I'm going to have Brian Robinson in the flat. We're going to move upfield. Brian Robinson spinning off another man. 2nd down and 2. 2nd down and 2. We're going to run this with Brian Robinson up the middle. We only have 1 minute left. I honestly don't know if that ends the game if we don't have enough points, so I'm going to start running hurry up. 1st and 10. We got play action here. We're circle. Why did circle not pop up until later? That's James Smith with the touchdown. His literal circle button, you can rewind the video, it didn't even appear, but we're gonna go to more options. The AI will for some reason take the field goal here, which doesn't make any sense. Why would I give back the ball when I can just end the game? Scary Terry pressed up on someone without a development. This should be an easy one for Scary Terry. It is going to be. He's going to dive out for it. 29-28 as the Washington Commanders will beat the Green Bay Packers in an overtime thriller to move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are to face the 14-3 Baltimore Ravens. We're an 88 overall. They're an 87, so pretty close matchup here. And for the team upgrades, White only comes with star development. We have yet to see Slayton's development. I guess I didn't move him in the slot. Yeah, Luke McCaffrey's in the slot. We'll change that now for this game. Defensively, any other upgrades that I can see? Quan Martin gets superstar development, but no other upgrades after that. 88 overall team. Let's see if we can get this ring against Lamar Jackson versus Jaden Daniels, the battle of the scrambler quarterbacks. Here we are versus the Ravens. They're going to open up with 7 points easily. We're going to respond with a 7 there. 7-7 game, of course, and then we're going to take the lead 10-7. They're going to make it 10-10 at halftime. We open up half with a punt. Punting in our opponent's territory was not a good move there, but we're going to make it a 17-13 game against the Ravens. What are they going to do? Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down. Game is on the line. Make the big stop here. 20-17 as the Commanders lose the Super Bowl to a last-second play by the Baltimore Ravens. Super upsetting. I wanted to hop in and stop it, but at the same time, I was like, the defense can do it, but of course I shouldn't do that ever. 20-17, we're going to lose. Still have 1 more year to go. And the Ravens beat the Commanders in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl MVP, and there are no other awards here versus the Commanders. I meant to say for the Commanders. In the NFC East, nobody retires. For the players ready to negotiate, I'll accept the option for Jaden Daniels. Frankie Louvu, I'm just going to do a player-friendly deal. I don't care if it's 4 years and he's 30 years old and he wants to hit free agency. I'm not going to let that happen. Dorrance Armstrong, just going to give him very player-friendly. Want him to stay for the final year. He re-signs on that. I'm just going to accept the tag right now on Frankie Louvu. Travis Kelce, why not just have him for another year? He's an 85 overall. He re-signs. And then Taylor Moton, might as well have him for another year as well as a right tackle. He re-signs as well. Zach Evans, all these other extras. CJ Mosley, might as well just keep him as depth because why not? He's a 78 overall. Everyone else here I'm just not interested in. $47 million to spend in free agency. Let's see what we got. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like anything free agency has to offer. Yes, there's some good players here. I just need the linebacker position. Frank Ragnow, I don't really necessarily need him. Yes, I have $48 million. I could get Jaden Reed, but I already have 2 receivers that I already like and will progress either way. I know it's the final season, but still, maybe the left tackle Ronnie Stanley, but really everything here just doesn't appeal to me. Don't need Zadarius Smith either. He is technically a higher overall than Dorrance Armstrong, so maybe I could just use him as depth at most, but sure, let's sign him for 1 year, see what we have. I convinced myself into doing it. Sure, we got Zadarius Smith. We'll just have him for that 1 year. Let's move into the draft. In the first round, gonna have to reach here on a linebacker, second to third round projection, elite speed, great strength, great acceleration, A awareness, all I need to see. We're gonna pick him. B- picks, ranked 39 in the class, normal development, of course. In the second round, picking up a right outside linebacker, Kendrick Carden, elite speed, 87 speed, 88 acceleration, normal development, of course, and his skills looked great as well. A man coverage, sure, it's F block, shedding F finesse moves, it doesn't matter, he's a pass coverage linebacker, but normal development. So overall, we had a pretty terrible draft, I would say. I just stopped drafting after the third round, 70 overall, 73 overall, then I had a 63 overall. Not good picks by me. Now, this is the team moving into the fourth and final season. I changed our offense into the Kansas City offense, so that way we can utilize our receivers more. Slayton has superstar development. That's awesome to see. Glad I didn't pick up Jaden Reed, but it's really annoying how bad that Brian Robinson's doing right now. He's averaging like 3.7 a carry, so I just completely switched into a full passing offense with the receiving core that we have. 87 overall team. Defensively, I guess we're just going to have CJ Mosley as the starter. Everything else looks pretty good. Zadarius Smith, 3 X factors, 4 X factors on the defense, 4 superstars, but 3 X factors on the defensive line. Specialist-wise, we're going to have Slayton in the slot here. Brian Robinson, I guess he's really not performing that well, so let's just leave it like that. Buchanan's going to be there. Everything else looks really good. 87 overall team. Let's just skip into the playoffs for the fourth and final year. 12-5 here in the playoffs as Dallas takes the 1 seed at 12-5. That's super annoying. If we just beat the Bills in week 17, it wouldn't have been a problem. But we have 5th in most points per game, 5th in passing yards, 6th defense. Yeah, I should have just stuck with Kansas City defense, Kansas City offense, I mean, the entire time. Jaden Daniels back to being a top 10 QB, 7th best offense in the NFL, and we have the 8th best defense. Why didn't I just do this from the start? 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, 7 receptions, 110 passer rating. Brian Robinson, now that he's getting less attempts, he gets 4.0 per carry, 10 touchdowns, 2 fumbles. Travis Kelce with 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Joe Slayton with 11 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Scary Terry, 900 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'm paying you like $25 million a year, and you still have yet to give me a 1,000-yard season, dude. Come on. James Smith with 910 yards, 7 touchdowns. Buchanan with 100 tackles, tackles for a loss, 15 for Daron Payne, 14 for Allen, 11 for Zadarius Smith, 9 for Frankie Louvu. Frankie Louvu continues to ball for us every season. 16.5 sacks, 14.5 for Zadarius Smith, 9 for Daron Payne, 4 for Jonathan Allen. Interceptions, 4 for Mike Strainestill. I don't even know how to say it. Whatever. Mike here with the interceptions, 4, and then defensive touchdowns and safeties are 0. And we beat the Rams. Why did I not show that? I'm sorry. I promise I'm not doing anything, but the Rams, we beat them. Here to face the 12-5 Cowboys. We have the same overall, slightly better offense and same defense, really. I don't know why it says all green for us. But either way, who do the Cowboys have as their quarterback right now? Cowboys still have Dak Prescott as the quarterback. I highly doubt he's the franchise guy. He's a superstar X factor at 34 years old. But either way, can we beat the Dallas Cowboys, who are also 12-5, to move on to the conference championship? And here we are in the conference championship, here to face the 86 overall Saints. Who is their quarterback? Their QB is Levi Gallagher. I remember them picking him, star development, 94 overall with the boost. He looks really good. Let's see if we can beat the Saints at their home. Really disappointing that we don't get home field advantage just because we are 1 win off from the Cowboys, but either way, let's see if we can do it. Here we are versus the Saints. We're going to open up with 7. They're going to not respond at all. Finally responding there. We're going to make it 14-7 at halftime. We open up half with a punt, and then 14-7 still in the game, 21-7. Why didn't I just change our offense to the Kansas City offense so much longer ago? 21-7. We're going to go back-to-back Super Bowls here, and here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 12-5 Colts. Who is their quarterback? I'm assuming it's still Anthony Richardson, right? And it is Anthony Richardson. He developed nicely in simulation. Normal development, really? That's crazy. But this is the overlook of the team before we go into the Super Bowl. Any other upgrades? Offensively, we look the same. 90 overall team. Holiday goes up to a superstar X Factor. 5 X Factors on defense. You love to see it. Let's see if we can beat Anthony Richardson to cap off this rebuild with a Super Bowl win. Here we are versus the Colts. They're going to open up with 3 points. We're going to respond with 7. Kansas City offense is overpowered here as we make it 14-10 with a big run there. And it is still 21-10 now in the fourth quarter, 18-21. Do not choke this. Run the ball. Or just run the ball. You keep passing the ball. I don't know why you did that, but Either way, this should be a win here, and it will be a win, 28-25, as the Washington Commanders win the Super Bowl with Marshon Lattimore. This is a successful rebuild after going back-to-back Super Bowls, 25-28. And Jaden Daniels wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins another league MVP. Dan Quinn wins the Coach of the Year. No other awards here for the Commanders, but that will be a successful rebuild. So I'm happy with the rebuild. I'm sure Marshon Lattimore is happy with the Super Bowl ring as well. So anyways, guys, I thank you guys all for watching. Jaden Daniels goes up to a 99 overall with the morale boost. So once again, I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know which team down in the comments below you want me to rebuild next. Make sure you like and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.